Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome you back to the next Newcomer in this long-range series of Newcomer ideas for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the Fighter Pass, and for future Smash Bros. Games in general. I've done numerous characters so far. 135 characters down, about 15 more to go till I get to 150. We're on the road to 150, and as I mentioned in the last video when I talked about Poochie from the Yoshi franchise, character 136 is going to be me diving back into the world of Xenoblade Chronicles, when I talk about another character that I chose to kind of represent Xenoblade Chronicles 2 / now the Torna Chronicles, a DLC story, Jin. I've talked about numerous Xenoblade characters throughout this series. I've talked about Rex and Pyra very early on. They were like the second or third or fourth characters I did. I talked about Nia from 2. I talked about Elma and Cross from Xenoblade Chronicles X. I talked about numerous characters, and I even cut a couple characters out along the way when I did that. Characters I cut from my list. I cut Morgana, or whatever his name. I can't remember the character's name. It's the soldier lady. It's been a long while since I played freaking Xenoblade Chronicles. But I wanted to add another one, and I wanted to do one that kind of represents both not only Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but now the DLC side story prequel to the Torna Chronicles, that being Jin. So this will be my last Xenoblade character on this list. I already talked about, I did the last Mortal Kombat character, and I've mentioned sometimes where I do a certain character, and that's the last character from that genre, that franchise, or whatever, that series, whatever I put in my series here, this long-running series. This will be the last Xenoblade character I talk about in the series, and what better fitting way than Jin, who is essentially a hero / enemy / anti-hero / he's everywhere. He has essentially been in both games. If you've played the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, and before this intro gets on too long, 3 separate categories. Why does the character make sense? Moveset ideas, a percentage chance I can see him actually getting in the game. Now, why should Xenoblade get a secondary character? First and foremost, we should have got a secondary Xenoblade character on the base roster. I'm still surprised we didn't. But Xenoblade has become a huge series. We got Shulk when it was straight up just one game on the Wii. A very popular game on the Wii, but Shulk got added to Smash Bros. 4 when there was only one game, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was on the way. I mean, not Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Xenoblade Chronicles X was on the way. It was basically going to become a series with 2 games. There you go. But when it was just that, it was one. We got Shulk, we got one character, and since then we got Xenoblade Chronicles X, we got Xenoblade Chronicles, the original on the 3DS, they brought out 2, the Torna Chronicles. It's become a very popular RPG series from Nintendo that's not named Fire Emblem, anything Mario and Luigi / Paper Mario, or, I don't know, Pokemon. It's become one of the most popular RPG series from Nintendo, and it's a lot more popular now than when we had to use Operation Rainfall to get the first game released outside of Japan and Europe into America. So it's one of their most heavily pushed, heavily advertised, popular series, one of their most popular RPGs now. It's a new series that's been around for a couple of generations now. Numerous games, numerous new games. It is popular, and people have been requesting to see someone else join Shulk. I think Xenoblade Chronicles deserves at least one more character. But why Jin? Okay, we technically missed the opportunity to get Rex. I know, like Sakurai said, oh, he's too new and everything, but that was for the base roster, even though technically he could be in DLC. And he still has a small chance, and I kind of fall into that category of there's a small chance he still might be in the Fighter Pass, but probably not likely given they gave us the Mii costume for the Sword Fighter. Oh, sad. But it doesn't necessarily mean Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is too new to be represented at all. The DLC is new. The DLC is being worked on right now, so newer characters can stand a chance to be included. That includes Rex, and I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2, how well it did, it sold really well. It is deserving to get that to be the next character if it is indeed Smash Ultimate's Fighter Pass, which is the next character. We don't have to wait till Smash 6 with Xenoblade Chronicles X2 and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 to come out and put a new character in Rex and Pyra and Mithra and all that being screwed over and thrown to the side like Elma, and we have to wait till the next characters. If it's the DLC, I think this is the game to represent, and it is a series that feels underrepresented now in Smash Brothers. It sold very well as Xenoblade Chronicles 2. The Torna Chronicles DLC came out, the separate game, as well as you could buy as DLC. That sold very well, and I think that in itself just shows that the next character representative, if they're to put a character in right now and we don't have to wait to the next game to get some new characters to pick from for the next Smash Bros. Game, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the obvious choice game representative. Jin represents both the Twilight Chronicles prequel and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. He's a character that represents both, so he can be easily marketed towards both games. And he would be different from Shulk and have a unique moveset. He is like a draw. If you play the game, and I don't want to go into spoiler territory, he has his sword, he has his magic, he has his special abilities. People say, oh, that's like a Tales character, that's like a Final Fantasy character, a Kingdom Hearts character, a Fire Emblem character. We have too many of that in Smash Bros. No, it's not. He fights different. He has a distinct style that makes him different from Shulk and from practically every sword fighter in the game. Oh yeah, newsflash. He uses a sword. But he doesn't only use a sword, so sword haters, just calm the hell down right now. I don't want to hear you anymore. You guys are getting annoying. Sorry, I don't mean it like that. But like he'd be unique. He's a popular character. I do see when I see characters requested for Smash Bros. Obviously from Xenoblade, it's either Alma or Rex Pyramithra. Sometimes Nia, sometimes Cross. Sometimes someone wants like Dunban or someone from like the first Xenoblade Chronicles or whatever. But like I have seen Jin requested as one of the newer, as a new choice for the series. And I think he's popular. He's requested. He represents both games. He would have a unique, distinct moveset. The series is popular enough to deserve a secondary character. It's obviously going to continue. We're going to get a port of Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Switch. We're going to get Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Xenoblade Chronicles X2, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 eventually. It's going to become a long-running series. People love it too much and it's too popular. They're not going to end it and stuff. So I'd say definitely the series deserves a secondary character, and Jin fits the mold of representing some of the newer games being popular and having a unique, distinct moveset. And if Rex and Pyra and Mithra are totally canned, he's the next best choice now. So there you go. Moveset ideas. Now, he is very much a strength speed character. He's really strong and really fast. He can do heavy combos. He could do charging sword attacks like a standard, like every other sword character in the game. Oh, that doesn't make him unique. The character doesn't have to be 100% unique to be distinctly different and creatively done and unique and different. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the character has to be 100% unique and different to stand out. They can have unique qualities but also be similar to other characters. But he is a sword character, and he wields it strong and fast. He's a pretty fast character, and he can deal heavy combos and damage. He can charge sword attacks. His smash attacks will be his sword arts, such as, okay, I got them written down here. I'm not going to remember these things. Ultra Slash, Skyward Slash, the Bladeless Bound, Heavenly Disrupt, and Zero Zone, which is an ice attack. So he can do some attack that makes his sword do ice abilities, and you can probably freeze opponents with it. You can probably freeze opponents for like 3 to 5 seconds, so you just wail on him and beat him up and give him some damage percentage. There you go. So his smash attacks are exclusively his blade skills, his sword arts, which pretty much arts, like forms of attack, are pretty much standard to the Xenoblade franchise. You should know that with Shulk, he's like backslash and stuff like that. Yeah, he does his own arts. And these are the arts for Jin, such as, like I said, Zero Zone, which does ice damage and freeze opponents, Heavenly Disrupt, and Ultra Slash, Skyward Slash, and Bladeless Bound. There you go. His special attacks include, basically, he's capable of particle manipulation. He can basically manipulate elementary particles and energy. So basically, he could shoot energy beams out of his hands. He could do little energy-based attacks, most of which are ice-based. He's basically really good at cryokinesis. So he basically is very good in ice magic. He can freeze you. He can shoot blades of ice at you, and ice beams and mist beams and freeze you and stuff like that. So I would say his moveset should definitely be centered around him attacking with his sword and using a lot of different ice magic because he's cryokinesis. There you go. So basically that's where I base his moveset. He's a really quick character. He's fairly agile. He's good at doing some combos, but a lot of his attacks are more heavy strike based and you have to charge them. And he can also be ice based and use ice magic on you. A lot of which, like I said, with the Zero Zone blade attack, the art, and his smash attack, specials, he can shoot ice beams at you and they could all freeze you. And you could, if you do it or charge it correctly or something, you could freeze an opponent. I would say don't do it for every single attack because that's OP, and I think it should really be for attacks that are fully charged. Like if you only just do it a little bit, it just does a little bit of damage and the opponent gets like, ooh. But if you charge the cryokinesis fully and shoot the ice particles at them, they get frozen for 3 to 5 seconds, so you can beat them up. I think that'd be kind of cool, and it doesn't make him OP, but also represents his ice abilities, but doesn't take away from the fact that he's also a sword user, but he's also not the same kind of sword user. He is distinctly different, so He does, and he's also a villain hero type rep as well, so he can do maybe make some of his attacks from when he was a good guy and he's a bad guy. Oh god, I just spoiled it. Actually, I didn't really spoil it for you. I'm just saying that. So play the games. There you go. Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing for his attacks. Final Smash. He is a blade. He is basically like Nia. He is basically like, Mithra and Pyra and everything. He is a blade. He has a true form, and I'm going to make that his final smash. And he's just going to charge up his sword and do this big giant ice attack. He goes into his true form, and he just attacks the stage. Like, this is the stage. This is him. He just makes a giant like sword ice attack that hits like a range like here, and he's right here. And any opponent that's in this vicinity will get massive damage. And if you have high percentage, well, goodbye. You're sent flying off the stage. So there you go. That's it for his attacks and so on and so forth for Jin. So let's get on to percentage chance to see him actually getting it. It's sad to say, with only 4 more DLC characters added, I don't really see a Xenoblade character really being added at this point, which is sad given that I think a lot of us fans expected, with how big of a franchise Xenoblade got, for it to get a secondary character to add to Shulk, and Shulk have a partner. Whoever that be, Rex, Pyra, Jin, Elma, Cross, whoever, Nia. It's actually kind of sad. I do think there's a chance, but I think we're going to have to wait till Smash Bros. 6 to see the potential chance of a new new Xenoblade Chronicles character, like from whenever Xenoblade Chronicles 3 comes out, or X2 or something. I think by that point we'll have new main characters, new casts of characters, and their chances for being included in Smash Bros. Are probably going to start fresh when Smash 6 comes out X amount of years from now. But I think right now, I think the idea of Xenoblade Chronicles character in general is not super high, and that kind of makes me feel a little bit sad. So 30% chance. I think there's a chance there. There is a small percent chance. And that's not just for Jin, that's for any character. They might be fooling us with Rex and Pyra and Mithra. They might be fooling us with Neo or Elma or something. Any of those characters are possible. I think Xenoblade Chronicles character in general is possible, but not 100% likely, depending on if Nintendo characters are in with the DLC or if it's going to be straight up just third-party characters. We don't know that yet, because we only know about Joker so far. And the rumored list that we got months ago was exclusively third-party, when they were rumoring that like Ryu Hayabusa, Doomslayer, and Eardrick and Minecraft Steve were getting in. So it depends on if we're going to get any Nintendo characters in this DLC, and if we do, what franchises are they going to represent? Are they going to represent stuff for advertising, like newer games like Fire Emblem Three Houses or Pokemon 8th Generation? Are they going to represent just characters they should have added on the base roster, like a Xenoblade character or something? I don't know. 30%, I think, at least in the mid ground. It's not too high, but not too low. Or I think the potential chance of us getting to see like a Xenoblade character in this Fighter Pass. So there you go. That's it for Jin from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 / Torna Chronicles. In the comments, what do you guys think? Do you guys like this idea? Do you guys want to see another Xenoblade character? And if it was, would you agree with Jin, or do you think we should still possibly see Rex and Pyra, or maybe Elma or something in this Fighter Pass? Or do you think we're going to have to wait till Smash Bros. 6 and so forth to get to see another Xenoblade character ever join Shulk? I have no idea. My moveset makes sense. What moveset do you do? The Final Smash makes sense. It's 30% too high, too low. My reasons for why the character should be in Jin or otherwise make sense. Put it down there. Discuss it down there. Let's have fun and discussing these next characters. And that's it for 136. My name is Douglas Fun. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to. Have a lovely day. And when I return for character 137 on this road to 150, I'm almost there, people. 150 characters, almost done. I'm going to be talking about another very popular third-party choice that everyone has heavily requested to see in this game. It came around the same time as Crash Bandicoot, and you should know I'm getting to it now, given that, just like Crash Bandicoot, who a year or so ago got his remake series, last year they got theirs, and it's Spyro the Dragon. See you all next time.